Welcome to a new video, and today I'm gonna talk about the 26th Waffen-Grenadier-Division der SS ungarische number 2. If you enjoy this series, please leave a like, and if you have any new ideas for videos, let me know in the comments down below. On October 20th, 1944, the pro-German Arrow Cross Party overthrew the moderate Admiral Hovey in Hungary. The SS Führungshauptamt immediately saw potential for new volunteers for the Waffen-SS and ordered the formation of 20 new divisions. After consultations with the new Hungarian government, led by Count Ferenc Szálasi, this number was reduced to 4 divisions. Ultimately, there were only enough volunteers for 2 divisions. On November 30, 1944, it was decided to establish a second Waffen-SS division in Rijeka. The camp mainly housed students and volunteers, as soldiers with combat experience had already been assigned to the 25th Waffen-Grenadier-Division der SS. Due to the advance of the Red Army, it was decided to move the Hungarian volunteers to the SS training camp in Neuhammer. On December 28, 1944, the SS Führungshauptamt established the 26th Waffen-Grenadier-Division of the SS Hungary, Hungarian number 2. The core of the new division was formed by 5,000 men from the 25th Waffen-Grenadier-Division of the SS Hunyadi, Hungarian number 1, and a Hungarian police battalion. A company of cavalrymen, 400 members of the Hungarian Air Force, 650 armored grenadiers, and a company of paratroopers constituted for the rest of the division. This assemblage of various units had to be trained in a full-fledged division. Immediately after its formation, the SS Führungshauptamt moved the division to Sieradz. Training began on January 6, 1945, but there was a lack of ammunition and weapons. Moreover, morale plummeted due to winter weather and inadequate supplies. On January 12, 1945, the Soviets launched their Vistula offensive. On January 14, 1945, the vanguard of the Red Army approached the area where the scattered units of the 26th Waffen-Grenadier Divisions were stationed. SS Hauptsturmführer Solati attempted to reach the German headquarters, but all communications were broken. Meanwhile, regular German troops of the 9th Army looted the supplies of the Hungarians, leaving most soldiers without weapons or ammunition. The Russians advanced towards Breslau, threatening to encircle the 26th Waffen-Grenadier Division. With no contact with the SS Führungshauptamt, SS Oberführer Zoltán Piszky decided to withdraw the unit to the west. He distributed all available clothing and food for 4 days among his soldiers. On January 18, 1945, the first Russian tanks reached Sieradz. The town had already been abandoned by the Hungarians, who were retreating westward under harsh weather conditions alongside small roads. The roads were very crowded with civilians and regular German troops fleeing from the Russians, causing the retreat to progress very slowly. By the end of the day, the Hungarians reached Freihaus. After this, the retreat turned into a wild flight. The SS soldiers had to make do with the equipment left by the Wehrmacht alongside the roadsides. Some units of the Hungarian division became separated from the main force. On January 20, 1945, the majority of the division reached Kalisz. Here, conflict arose between SS Hauptsturmführer Solati, who wanted to retreat towards Neuhammer, and SS Oberführer Zoltán Piszky, who wanted to retreat to Posen. For the time being, this meant they would continue in the same direction. On January 21st, the Hungary division reached Zoroczym, where they could rest for the first time in 3 days. During a reconnaissance mission, SS Oberführer Zoltán Piszky disappeared, and SS Hauptsturmführer Solati temporarily took command. After departing from Sieradz, some units got lost. Eventually they regrouped into Combat Group Kreshnai, consisting of pioneers and several companies of the 65th Waffen-Grenadier Regiment of the SS. They had moved southwards through the fields, becoming separated from the main force. On January 22, 1945, they encountered a similar group from the German 9th Army, which was also retreating. The Hungarians decided to stay with the German Combat Group Nering. More Hungarian stragglers joined this group, which reached Kalisz on the 23rd of January 1945. Some remaining Poles told them that the rest of the division had left the town a few days earlier. On January 23rd, 1945, SS Brigadeführer Bertold Maak was appointed commander of the 26th Waffen-Grenadier Division of the SS Hungary, but this division was scattered across western Poland. On the morning of January 24th, 1945, the division resumed its march westward. They reached Warta, where the German pioneers intended to blow up the bridge. The Waffen-SS soldiers convinced them that there were still stragglers. During the discussion, Russian tanks appeared and managed to capture the bridge intact. During the fighting around the bridge, 170 Hungarians were killed. The rest of the division managed to escape. In a brief skirmish near Schrim, another 100 men were killed. As the Russian vanguard continued to advance westward, SS Hauptsturmführer Solati decided it was safer to move southwest towards Neuhammer. At that point, the Hungarians were in Lissau, about 130 kilometers from Neuhammer. The Russians focused on reaching the Oder, giving the Hungarian division a chance to regroup and catch their breath. Meanwhile, SS Hauptsturmführer Solati received unexpected news. The last combat group Kreshnai had reached Lissau after a forced march of 36 hours on small roads, where they rejoined the rest of the division. SS Hauptsturmführer Solati gave his exhausted soldiers 2 days of rest. On January 30th, 1945, the first Hungarians of the 26th Waffen-Grenadier-Division of the SS reached the old Polish-German border near Glogau, where they met units of the 25th Waffen-Grenadier-Division of the SS Hunyadi. For the first time in 12 days, they received hot food and were able to shower. After a night's rest in heated barracks, they were transported by trucks to Neuhammer. On February 4th, 1945, the last stragglers were transferred from Glogau to Neuhammer. The SS Führungshauptamt decided that the Hungary division would be trained as a grenadier division with only 2 regiments. The Soviets had approached Neuhammer within 50 kilometers, and the 26th Waffen-Grenadier Division was ordered to leave 2 battalions at the training camp as part of a new Hungarian Waffen-SS alarm regiment to defend the area between Bobber and Kues. SS Hauptsturmführer Solati was appointed commander of one of these battalions. The rest of the division had to move south. On February 8, 1945, the Soviets launched their attack on Neuhammer. The lightly armed Hungarians defended bravely, but enemy superiority was too great. Nevertheless, they managed to hold out for 5 days, allowing the main force of both divisions to retreat in relatively good order. On February 13, 1945, Neuhammer fell into the hands of the 1st Ukrainian Front. According to a rumor, a Wehrmacht colonel was so impressed with SS Hauptsturmführer Solati's performance that he gave his own Knight's Cross of the Iron Cross to the Hungarian. However, it was not known who this colonel was, and Solati was killed a few days later. During the fighting around Neuhammer, the main force of the division left the training camp. This group consisted mainly of unarmed and untrained soldiers. On February 10, 1945, the column reached Göritz and Radmaritz. The harsh winter weather hindered the march, and the column was constantly harassed by Russian fighter planes. They continued westwards to Strawalde, arriving in Kisdorf on February 14, 1945. During the westwards march, there were frequent conflicts between SS Brigadeführer March and his Hungarian staff. When they reached Bautzen on February 20, 1945, he ordered that all accompanying family members leave the column. On February 21, 1945, they continued towards Dresden, where fierce fires were still raging after the bombing of February 14, 1945. On orders of the SS Führungshauptamt, they halted before the city, as there were insufficient trains available to transport the division. Approximately 250 men were sent as reinforcement to the 32nd SS Freiwilligen Grenadier Division, which was part of the 9th Army near Görlitz. On March 1, 1945, the SS Führungshauptamt had gathered enough transport means to move the 26th Waffen-Grenadier Division to Bayreuth. Here, training with live ammunition was resumed. Meanwhile, SS Brigadeführer Mark was appointed commander of the 20th Waffen-Grenadier Division of the SS. SS Oberführer Grassi became the new commander. On March 23, 1945, the Hungarian Minister of Defense and the leader of the SS Führungshauptamt, SS Obergruppenführer Hans Juttner, visited the Hungarian Waffen-SS divisions. During this visit, it was decided to disband the Hungary division and distribute all its men among the regiments of Hunyadi. On April 10, 1945, the division was officially disbanded and absorbed in the 25th Waffen-Grenadier Division of the SS Hunyadi. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and hope to see you in the next video.